Hello everyone, welcome to a new deep analysis for Bitcoin based on Elliott wave theory. Of course, we're gonna dive deeper a little bit in the monthly, weeks, daily, and 4 and 1 hour charts. Of course, to see what's gonna happen for Bitcoin as highest possibility in the next week. And starting here on the 2 weeks for chart as for all-time history here for Bitcoin, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finishing a wave 1 for the first cycle here, and we got an ABC after it for the second cycle, and then of course moving again for higher in the wave 3. After this, we got of course another new cycle or third cycle for Bitcoin ABC, and then of course a move again toward the upside for your wave 5, finishing a wave 1 or a wave A, I would say as well, in the blue scenario here. So both have, of course, the same almost results, which are looking toward the upside. After this, we got an A B, and a C, again, a correction, and another higher, all-time high, of course, for this cycle, which we are currently into it. The fourth cycle currently, and we did not finish it in time, if you have realized. And of course, as you can see, based on the time, we have topped even much more before than any other cycle before. And this, of course, signifies how much Bitcoin is in a rush to move for higher prices. Yeah, and did we finish it? Did we finish the cycle or not yet? The first thing, of course, we still have a lot of possibilities here that we might still move toward the upside, of course. As you can see, the gap still not closed between this curve, which is taken, of course, from the whole time history here, all-time highs. And of course, we see that the gap is not yet closed. Knowing that we took the high, but we didn't close the gap yet for this curve. And also, there is a possibility that we have triple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and we are currently in the last wave, a 4 and a 5 toward the upside. However, as you can see, we got a very massive drop toward the downside, of course, where we saw, of course, a very low prices, where it was, of course, supposed to move to the 77k for our CME gap, of course, as you can know, our CME gap that we need to close sooner or later. Now, it would be nice as well to share with you the CME gap on this analysis and show you what's going on. So inside the CME gap, I would like to show you this one that we are aiming to close, of course. And as you can see on the daily here, I'm gonna move to the daily. So you can see that this gap is still open, right? And of course, the price went very low. However, it has closed only the half of it and then retraced very massively toward the upside again, right? We see a very strong wick that it has moved, of course, for higher here. And of course, after touching the CME gap, but not closing it perfectly, right? So the thing is here, I would like to mention, guys, that the CME gap is a very nice indicator, or like a price action that you can get. But for example, here you have a gap which it has never been closed ever. Yeah, so sometimes the CME gap cannot be closed at all. And of course, I mean, it's still there. It might be still between the 20k and the 21k. Therefore, I always say, okay, we have to be careful. We cannot take always the CME gap as a reference for the price action. Sometimes it just move on, without it. But what I would like to mention here is I would like to show an example as well. For example, in this one exactly here, we have a CME gap exactly here between this level. As you can see, the price action went down to close it, but it has closed it partially to the half of it. So a very nice example here to show, of course, how it has closed only the half of it, and it has moved very bullish toward the upside. Is this the same case scenario right now that we have in our CME gap? Well, very possible. Guys, it's very possible that this CME gap has closed only partially, and that was enough, of course, because the market is in a rush probably to move toward the upside again for wave 5, because don't forget that we did not invalidate our bullish big bull run yet. and we still probably have one more chance toward the upside. So we're gonna see it, of course, on the daily chart again. So on our daily chart here, we are looking at our bullish cycle here toward the upside 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This is our wave 5 currently. And currently, of course, we are inside this area where, of course, you probably still have this scenario triple 1-2s toward the upside where you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then one more 4, 5 toward the upside. Yeah, to be finished. Don't forget that this wave 4 has finished here as ABC, and this is a difference exactly where it starts between the bullish and the bearish scenarios. And of course, this is your bullish scenario with triple 1-2s, and you probably still have, of course, after this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finish the main wave 3, and then another ABC here, another impulse for your wave 5 with a new all-time high, finishing wave 3 in your yellow, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if you have realized there is a timing here, 3 and 4, and this timing is taken exactly from this wave 2, because your wave 4 here should be an alternation, of course, between the wave 2 and the wave 4. And normally, of course, the wave 4 can range until double time, and of course, sometimes in such case scenarios, for example, where there is a CME gap, for example, it needs to be closed. Probably it can range even for triple times your wave 2, and even for the 4 times, still, of course, very, very suitable. Until the 6th time, of course, then I would say the possibilities start to reduce very, very strongly. Yeah. So far, we are still between the triple times of your wave 2, and this is a very, very good timing as well for a wave 4 in case we are moving still for a wave 5 toward the upside. And the reading for this correction can be simply W, X, and a Y here, where your W is a zigzag, your X is another flat here or a zigzag, and then your wave Y is also another zigzag, a B, and a C toward the downside, finishing a wave Y, and then finishing wave 4, and then of course continuation toward the upside. Your bearish scenario is, of course, here, as you can see, the difference is a W, X, and a Y rather than A, B, C in our bullish scenario. And your wave Y has finished here in an A, B, C, D, E triangle, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, a 4, and a 5. Finished, of course, this bull run with a wave 5, and then you are looking toward the upside in different scenarios. We had this arrow before for our bearish market. In case, of course, we are in a short-term bearish and still moving toward the upside, and currently this is exactly what happened. We finished our first possibility in bearish, and we are estimating the things if we are moving for higher in case we have our bullish scenario for a wave 5. In case we are more bearish here, therefore we are still looking for lower to finish the second arrow here, and we probably range here for a wave 4 and then a wave 5, because you would like to have here 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. As you can see, your wave 2 is a long wave 2 in time. Therefore, your wave 4 has to range a little bit more inside this area before we drop down for a wave 5. And once we finish, of course, this scenario, therefore you can consider that you have finished as well here several 1-2s with it as well. And probably we're gonna have 4, 5, 4, 5. Probably finishing this wave A, of course, as a B, and then of course wave C for a bigger bearish market here that it can unfold. However, don't forget that with this bearish market, if you reach the invalidation of the bullish here, therefore, we can say we are ready to launch, of course, a new bull run for a Bitcoin starting from the 66K400. Now, don't forget as well that, we talked about this scenario where, of course, we have a new bull run. And currently, we are in a big wave 1-2, meaning in the cycle of Bitcoin, of course, we are currently in a wave 1 of the wave 3/3, meaning now you are in a wave 3/3, which is the most explosive and massive wave for Bitcoin toward the upside, which it can, of course, reach over 500K. Now, that sounds a little bit like a moon boy, I know, but this is still a very, very Elliott wave. I'm going to show you exactly what do I mean on the weekly chart here to see, of course, the readings. So what we have here on the weekly, of course, as you can see, we have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for the cycles, right? So we have, let's go maybe 2 weeks here is nicer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This is a cycle that we have finished for Bitcoin here as a wave 1, right? Or as a wave A, it doesn't matter. You have, of course, a correction and you start to move impulsively, meaning Bitcoin has finished and done, of course, with correction and ready to move for higher prices, whether in a wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, or a wave A, B, and a C toward the upside. And currently, this cycle, this bull run that we just finished, probably, of course, still probably have one more leg, we have finished 5 waves towards the upside impulsive. And that means, of course, this might be your first wave 1, right, of your wave 3. Yeah, because you have a wave 3 towards the upside. This is 1, 2, and then 3, which is your most impulsive and explosive wave toward the upside. And currently, after finishing this wave 2, you are in a wave 3 in the orange as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning this wave is gonna be very, very massive and explosive. And don't forget that the minimum target in such case scenario is, of course, the 0.38 fib level, starting from the 51K800. And in such a case scenario, especially when you are 3/3 here, and Bitcoin always tend, of course, it's a very, very known characteristic of Bitcoin, tends to hit only the 0.23 fib level, which is 68K900. Now, this number will remind you in this, of course, analysis that we see exactly in the daily here for the short bull run, right? And then moving with a new bull run. Yeah? After finishing this bull run here, creating a new one from the 66K400. As we saw, of course, 68K is, of course, your target for a new bull run, as we saw here. Yeah, this is a blue box that we would like to hit in a cycle, of course, bearish cycle, and then moving for higher prices. Yeah, so these are the possibilities for a Bitcoin in a bigger view. Let's take a look a little bit inside this area, what's going on. So on the 4-hour chart, of course, we have a lot of possibilities right now and that it might unfold. Of course, we saw a very nice rejection impulsively toward the upside. And we said, of course, we have invalidated the bearish scenario in case we are still looking here for another 1, 2, 3. We saw a lot of fear here on Friday night, if you remember, and it went very, very deep in an A B, and a C probably here, and that because, of course, we cannot really finish an impulse with this leg here, yeah? So A, B, and a C, you have finished here 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 for the yellow, and then you're looking A, B, C probably toward the upside, unless, of course, you have finished a W, X, and a Y. So, of course, I separated those scenarios in a nice presentation, of course, to show you much nicer scenarios, guys. So, in the bullish scenario, we have simply finished a wave 3 in the top, and we're still looking for a wave 4. As you know, we are in triple 1-2s, yeah, as explained on the daily. So, of course, and now we are in a wave 4 and a 5 toward the upside. Your W, X, and a Y has finished very nicely here. And we can say very nicely that we got, of course, a zigzag here for W, a very shallow zigzag for your wave X, and a bigger zigzag for your wave Y. Yeah, finishing wave Y and then finishing wave 4 and start to move impulsively toward the upside 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 5 for a new all-time high. This is a bullish scenario, of course, that it might unfold, and especially since we have touched our CME gap. As you can see, we have closed it partially which sometimes it is much more than enough to have this and then move on for higher prices. We saw this example before, as I showed you in this analysis. In your bearish scenario, of course, where you have a double 1 2 here, you have 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and you are currently, of course, in an A B and a C, probably toward the downside. And because an A, B, and a C would require an impulse toward the downside, as you can see, you probably finished a zigzag here as a flat for a wave B and C. So A, B, and a C, finishing a wave A with it, and of course very shallow wave B here, and then, or it can be even here as a running flat A, B, and a C, and then you're looking through 1 2 3 4 and a 5 for a wave C probably, but yeah, preferably then, okay, if we are bearish here, we have to keep the wave B here because this leading diagonal is gonna be used as 1 2 3 4 and a 5. Your wave 4 that we are looking at here can be, of course, a triangle, it can be a zigzag, or it can be a flat, yeah, a zigzag, sorry, or a flat, yeah. And these are the scenarios where we can see, of course, wave 4 can range much more longer in time because the time required for this wave 2 here has to be matching, of course, at least the same or in double time, right? So we still need time anyway to range in this area to reach this blue box and then moving toward the downside. Now, is it probably as well that we have double 1 2s here, like a 1 and then ABC for wave 2 and then a big wave 1 2 and then another 1 2 3 4 and a 5 4 and a 5 4 and a 5. Well, this is of course our bigger bearish scenario here, where we are looking for, of course, this leg here that it might unfold as well. Yeah, so in case we have 1 2 1 2 and then big 1 2 and then 3 4 5 4 5, then we can move, of course, for the third bearish possibility here, of course, which it can finish anyway, an A, B, and a C, yeah, can be considered. However, if this is only considered as one impulse, meaning with several 1 2s, one impulse, yeah, we have to be careful, of course, in case we get a wave B towards the upside, A, B, and a C for deeper bearish market, which is very, very low possibility. Currently, of course, on the 1 hour chart, we are looking, of course, at those scenarios, and the highest possibility right now because of this price actions that we are looking at here as a 1 2 3 4 and a 5, we are very, very close, of course, to take the high here and the bullish possibility to get higher. Yeah, so when we get this area here, you can start thinking, of course, to be very bullish toward the upside in 1 2 3 4 and a 5. This can be, of course, your last wave for this bull run and then moving toward the downside. So I would say the possibilities now are 50-50, and of course the range here that we're gonna get is gonna tell us what it's gonna happen. However, the possibility for bullish is now, I would say, 50%, while of course ranging here is also 50%, and getting one more wave 5 is very, very possible. Closing the CME gap fully, yeah, full close for the CME gap, and to re-estimate what's gonna happen, because of course with this structure we can finish a lot of, or many bullish structure, yeah, that it can be bullish after it. So we're gonna re-estimate this, and probably now we are in bullish probability, of course, which is, yeah, because just by looking at this impulse, it looks really, really very impulsive, especially, of course, I mean, this is Elliott wave channel, but of course, yeah, don't forget head and shoulders, yeah. Very nice shape here, V shape, yeah, that we would like to see, of course, when you are bullish. Don't forget that an impulse anyway can lead as well to a big zigzag toward the upside, meaning as well very, very close to an invalidation of total bearish scenario, meaning if you are an A, a B, and a C, a little bit extended wave C can simply invalidate this bearish scenario. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.